are you, buddy?
I'm good. And you?
So it's receber, is that how you say welcome in Portuguese? What? Or bem-vindo, right? What is it? How do you say just welcome in Portuguese?
Bem-vindo.
Bem-vindo. How are you, man?
Good.
That's good. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hey. How do you say it?
Welkom.
Welcome. Welcome. How you doing? Benvenuto. That's how you
Good.
say it
How
in
are you?
Italian. Awesome. So let's go around. First of all, we're basically, depending on time zones, some people, it is the day that Gojira's new record comes out. And we're essentially having a gigantic, like, I suppose it's that birthday party, like it's the first birthday party when the baby's born, I guess, and they even called it their child on Instagram, which I
Yeah,
found
I saw
super
that.
endearing.
Beautiful.
But let's go around. So, Eva, how has your day been?
Well, at the moment, it's actually 5 a.m. in the morning, so I just woke up.
Okay.
Um,
That is very
but
generous of you. We don't take that for granted that you made the time for us. So your time is a
no worries.
privilege, and we certainly appreciate it.
But yeah, yesterday was just amazing. First thing I woke up, I opened my phone and I saw it was already out, and I just immediately put it on. It was a bit chaotic because I did have to go to university.
Okay.
But it was just, I listened to it and it was just everything I hoped it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On every level, artistically, and then in terms of, I think no, not even possibly, definitely their most vocal and transparent about their activism album. I think that they've really,
Oh, for sure.
the
Yeah.
twin things of the Free Tibet and Project Amazonia, and they are always, with what we do as Gojira podcast, signal boosting those causes. But I'm very glad to have made these very kindred connections with you both through Instagram. And just, the online can be such a polarizing thing, but in many ways it's a gift, and it's such a gift to have you both on the show. Glauber, how are you, man? Take us through your day. How did your day start?
Starting good.
Good.
I'm waking this. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here among people who want to share love for music.
That's really good.
So they are great by this fabulous band. I feel honored. Thanks.
Excellent. We always love, and Eva, you see Glauber's posts, like they're so always really heartfelt and just so earnest. And congratulations, by the way, on becoming a dad. I don't know if it's your first kid or your second, but congratulations, man.
It's my first. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Your first? Okay, wait. Hold on. I had to do that, man. I had to. Awesomeness. Well, honestly, I mean, I have a bit of a structure, as you saw. I usually just kind of vibe things out, but I guess we do have those 8 questions. You know what? In honor of, I've given them a nickname. He hasn't, obviously. I don't know the name, but Fortitude obviously has to be the baby's name. What's Fortitude in Portuguese?
It's like Fortaleza. It's
Oh my God. Yeah, middle name has to be Fortaleza. Oh my God. Come on. I mean, right? Okay. All right. Well, it's good to have kind of gone around the table and stuff. I think it's been, for me, you saw my photo of, because it was I think I really enjoyed the lead up to this album. Eva, what was it for you? Like, when did you come? I'll throw it back to Glauber as well. So when was your first awareness of Gojira? How did you first encounter them, man?
So that was about 4 years ago when I was 15, turning 16 nearly. And it was actually my bandmate at the time who already knew them well, who showed me, I think it was the live performance of Stranded at Hellfest. And I was just immediately, my mind was blown, and it was just,
Stranded, yeah.
I was a fan immediately.
Okay.
And funnily enough, I actually saw them live about 2 months later.
Oh.
Because they coincidentally came to the Netherlands very quickly after that.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
That
I
makes me
got the
very
shirt
happy.
as well. It's my favorite
Excellent.
shirt.
Oh, let me ask, Glauber, do you have a webcam so we can see you? So then we can see if you're, I don't know, because we've both got good jurisdiction. Did you have a webcam, man?
just the microphone.
Just the microphone. No worries. I'll put some nice background or something. I think you'll really like it. Okay, that's really cool. Well, yeah. And talk about, you know, connecting with a band through your bandmates, which is great, by the way. Glauber, I don't know, Eva, like she plays bass and guitar, right? You play?
Yeah, bass guitar mainly. I'm not very good and I don't have that much
Stop
time
it.
these days.
We will suffer none of that. You're great. And in
Okay,
fact, bass
thank
is
you.
very groovy to get into, and you can kind of just
Oh,
like the
that
Ramones, you know, vibe it out. Like,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
Nice, awesome, cool, cool, cool. Well, that's really cool. Hey, Garba, do you play any musical instruments?
I try.
Okay.
I drums.
Excellent.
Drums.
That is
Cool.
really cool. I mean, obviously, you know, look at I sing. That's my thing. I got the mic and stuff. But yeah, no, I've had some musician friends, and why not? Since we're going around, so Glauber, when did you first you know, encounter Gojira?
I was on forum on the internet, and a guy shared a song called over the flows,
Oh yes.
and they say it's from a French band called Gojira, and
Mhm.
say that the song look a lot like System of a Down. And
Okay.
I was curious and just went to listen. I really
Excellent.
like this crazy and the experimental song. Really remind me of System of a Down. So I went to look for more songs from the same album, The Link, and I found that this album was very different from everything I had ever heard. The
Okay.
style captivated me. So I went to listen to your next album, which is from Master Series,
Hmm.
and I can't describe in words what I felt when I first heard this album. It was a magnificent experience that gave me absolute delight and an incredible feeling in each song. My days seemed even better. It was like an injection of joy and vitality for me.
That's beautiful. See, this is why I love you, man. See, you're like you connect with the spirit just like you ever like, and that's how it's like in through different entryways and probably I don't know if different generations or whatever. There's something. I mean, the word spirit is very important with Gojira because they carry that like they give voice to the voiceless in many ways with their causes. And I would say I mean, it's spiritual metal. Some people environmental, and of course, you know that's the one of the causes. But I think there's something that really finds its way to the core of you, to the spirit, and that you know realignment with nature. I think Joseph Campbell once says is you know align your nature with nature, and you'll never be at odds with yourself, and never be at odds with the world. And Eva, is that something that for you with Gojira that you are that's a component of your appreciation of the band is the symbolism and the themes.
It definitely lifts them to this entirely new level. Just the music itself is already so good and just beautiful, but the fact that you can actually connect on that other level with the band as well, and that the lyrics just well speak to your soul, so to say.
Yeah,
It just enlightens it so much more.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got Gojira quotes around me at all time,
Oh, that's
and
good. Yeah,
and they just yeah they speak to me
yeah,
on just a deep level.
yeah. And I think they set out for that for themselves. I think they set themselves a standard where, well, if this is just coming out one way, if it's just words leaving instead of whatever they're saying actually having an effect on them. And you can see, honestly, I think he's one of the most emotionally and energetically generous performers. You know, Joe with how he delivers the words, but that's words. I mean, every single one, Christian, Mitch, and then Mario, like all of them are just they emote, like they feel what they're performing. And frankly, it isn't a performance. They're just on stage, just being these genuine, very worthwhile artists. You know, I need to see more art by Mario in all of Gojira though. I love Joe's art so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely. Glauber, do you kind of sometimes think of, you know, the occasional Gojira quote throughout the day just to kind of center yourself a bit?
Repeat the question, please.
That's okay. So, do you sometimes think of Gojira lyrics during the day?
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool. That makes me happy. For me, one is if you change yourself, you change the world. Like that's just really, really timeless and so pertinent because we can do a lot of blaming and a lot of I would say bandwagoning and like the fruitless stuff that people do online that goes nowhere, and that is a fallacy. Like if you try and have that be a way of changing the world through like complaining or raging or judging or alienating or throwing up boundaries, like that makes no sense to me. I think the way to really change it, this is what my fiance does. She, if we each had that imperative for ourselves to change for the better collectively, then it doesn't matter. Propaganda machines wouldn't matter. Politics wouldn't matter. It just, everyone would individually just become better and the walls would come down. And, so I just think there's a wonderful spirit of unity. Yeah. We'll say the word spirit a lot with Gojira, I think.
Absolutely.
For sure. Well, I'll because in honor of Glauber, because he asked for the questions, I want to honor, and also because he is literally like, I don't know how many kilometers away from he is from the Amazon, but damn, like that's right where like one of the like the heart of, like, it's got twin hearts, I guess you could call it, is the with Free Tibet and Project Amazonia. Like I'm gonna throw it to him about that, and that's one of the questions. So is that okay, Ava, if I just go by this structure? Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
No worries. So so you first encountered, obviously you both had that lovely meeting of energies with Gojira. So have you seen Gojira live? Eva has answered that previously. So Glauber, have you seen the band live?
No.
Okay. And so obviously the next question was tell the story. Now, instead of telling a gig story, tell us a story of how you are going to see them live.
I still haven't been able to go to any Gojira concert, but all my friends tell me that they hope to me to go one day because they know how much I am a fan, and they tell me that I am going to have a transcendental experience.
There is no way that you won't be going to a gig after being on the Gojira podcast, man. Like, right? So let's just establish that. And now, Eva, I think you will agree with this because they're going to tour Fortitude for a couple of years. They always do. We're going to get, you have to manifest this with me. We're going to get a photo from Glauber at one of the main, like in front of the like hashtag Project Amazonia, because they're absolutely, don't you think, Eva, they are going to go to Brazil, like
they have to.
They have to. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a very special gig for you, man. I think maybe even more special than if you maybe went to Italy or traveled overseas. Like they're going to come to you. There's no way that they're not coming to you, man. So you excited about that?
Yeah, so much, man. If you care about humanity and the planet, I live in here, very close to the Amazonia, and your actions and choices in life that can harm the environment, other living beings, make you feel guilt sometimes. And I feel very sensitive in this respect. I always feel bad when something is not right. I felt it in my spirit, my soul. So I have to do something that I feel is right and act on my views, on my side about these things. What I think is the right thing to do in this world to benefit humanity and the planet. These incredible people, the indigenous people,
Absolutely.
they really connect with the land. I feel deeply connected with things that I see that is really valuable. The feeling of being connected to something and feeling alive when you're living for. I try to follow my own path, letting my heart guide me. Because I feel when I'm fine living something, it's something that is beyond reason. When you live a life that is not yours, things are not no things are enough. are of no value to you. The
They're not
result of
aligned. Yeah, they're not. You're not connected. You're not aligned with yourself. Yeah. Would you agree, Eva?
Yeah, it's definitely something I've also been consciously working on lately because it's hard to do so. Sometimes it's confronting to look at yourself and analyze what you actually want and what you want to uh, achieve in life in terms of contribution
Mm,
to society, the world, and everything. Um,
that's cool.
and it's something people should definitely try to be more aware of. But I understand that it's very difficult to take that hard look at yourself
Mm.
um, and see what you can contribute.
For sure. I think you've both got very good heads on your shoulders. Yeah. Very I'm actually moving forward because the sun keeps catching me. So it's like, ah,
Oh yeah.
I might move further back. Yeah. Or I don't know. I think I should be fine. Okay. I mean, I don't know. The sun's good. I should probably get some vitamin D, right?
I mean, Australian sun is dangerous as well. have
That's right. Okay, well,
have
I'll
my
just
share
move
of
further back.
experience with that.
We're still connected, so it's fine. You can still see me. So
Mm.
okay, well that's yeah, and I resonate absolutely with both of you on that front for sure. For sure. Now we come around to obviously if you do, hey, so you've seen them, you saw them a couple months after discovering them, but how many times have you seen them a few more times ever?
Yes, I've seen them 3 times. One of which was that first time that was in just an inside venue,
Mm-hmm.
which was absolutely beautiful. And then I saw them on a festival twice, just outdoor festivals. Um, one of which they were a headliner, which was one of their first headliner performances, I think, on a festival. Um,
Okay.
and I'm not entirely sure if it was that one, but I think it was pouring outside when I
Oh,
saw them, and it had been the entire day. So I was soaked and cold, but everything was worth it because I could
fuck yeah.
see Gojira at the end
Absolutely.
of the day. Um,
Yeah.
it was just beautiful.
What talk a bit about I had this with Tool recently. I went to Sydney and there's something that with certain bands can't speak for all of them, you know, it's just there's an understanding that with certain bands it is very much just on the first few levels of like just the surface, but with Gojira I just feel like you don't come out of a Gojira gig without some new friends, you know, and without a sense of having shared something very special because it taps into this shamanic like actual something that's older than psychology, older than language. It is that group communion experience that they conjure it with their kind of very primal imagery, with their you know, some of what Mario makes very much resembles like cave paintings, you know. So what Gojira do artistically is, and in their presentation, is they conjure those sensibilities that come from way before we were speaking any language. It was just acknowledgement. There were just noises that we made, and that sense of, you know, gathering around the fireplace and in fact when I release some of my poetry or whatever, there's such a with and something that really I think has seeped into me, and I want to talk to you ever about influences and stuff, because as a creative yourself musician, that they keep things very primal, like very like there's titles like into the storm is just,
Hmm.
you know what we should do, guys. I know we hey Glauber, I know we have the structure, but fucking today the seventh fucking Gojira album came out. Like, we need to fucking hype a bit about this. So I'm just gonna ask. Okay, fucking Glauber, what did you think of fucking Fortitude? Go.
9, 9, 9.
All right. Okay, tell us why.
It's great album, solid,
Solid album.
dynamic. Yeah,
Okay.
just great, wonderful, wonderful, perfect.
I mean, so I
Incredible.
think I'm gonna take the silence. I love Glauber's relationship with silence. I think it's silence is important. You know, even as a podcaster, you know, you'd think that would be ironic, but you need to take the spaces. So I love how it's like, what did you think, Glauber? Silence. It was a 9. I'm like, great. That's really good. And I think that'd be very, very chuffed to hear you say that for sure. So Ava, Fortitude, go. Tell me, what did you think?
Amazing. It's the first time a new album came out since I've known them, which
Hmm.
is a special experience as well. And um, I couldn't stop myself from listening to the singles when they came out, so I already had kind of an idea where the album was going.
Yeah.
But then the album hit, and it was just so much better than I expected beforehand as well. Just that part where just Fortitude and the chant come together, that was just that just hit.
Oh, beyond, totally, absolutely. So I designed these symbols and these tattoos and stuff, which are all kind of based on sort of natural patterns. And there's a concept in nature called morphogenesis, which is simply the scientific word for the way nature creates patterns, you know? And I am deep into symbolism, right? So you better believe Ava and Glauber, when they started teasing the album with symbols, I fucking lost it. I was like, so I've already resonated with this band, and it's been one album of the other, just especially Magma, which, you know, with them processing their mother, like rest in peace and everything, rest in power. That affected me deeply, and I ended up getting the vinyl and stuff for that. But so when I was, you know, following along and first under like those first, because remember it was just black and it was just symbols like that's, and then the colors and everything, very earthy, very kind of like connected to the earth. Obviously there's been certain elemental affinities with each record, a theme generally that one is, you know, orbited, you know. So obviously seeing those was amazing, and so then I was already going in hyped. And I'm also Glauber, like Love and Light, I respect the kind of, you know, he's got a bit of a sagely kind of like, you know, yes, 9. For me, I mean, I'm actually super fucking introverted, but when it comes to like, I'm just very celebratory today and I can't help it. And Sphinx, man, like I can't fucking deal with Sphinx. It was, oh my God. And then I really loved Joe's solo on the chant. Like, what did you think, Ava?
Yeah, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it and I was like, is that a guitar solo?
That's right.
From Gojira?
Yeah.
And it was just this, well, it was purely positive, that reaction, but it was just, yeah, surprised was my first thing. But it was really, really nice, yeah. Gave that.
That's so good.
I don't know what, but yeah, just a beautiful detail in it.
Excellent. Glauber, what did you think of Joe's solo on the chant?
Albert, I'm sorry for my silence.
No, I love it. I'm a fan. This makes me so happy.
I talk to you that I don't speak English so well.
I know, and that makes me happy because the whole point.
I privilege reading.
No? Yeah. No, that's cool, man. It's all good. Like, and that's the whole point. And that's why I wanted to have you on. Is like it's Gojira is international, man. So
I love the solo. You know.
Yeah.
It's something new, but it's something that I never heard. But eu sempre quis ouvir, tá ligado?
Okay. I agree.
So good.
So good. Okay, cool. So just again, I guess we'll orbit back to the structure, and then there's going to be it's going to be structure, and then I'm going to just stop and be like, oh my fucking God, Fortitude, and then we're going to go back to structure. Okay, we'll just
understandable.
Is that okay? Excellent. Yeah. All right. So now I guess not to put Fortitude on the spot, because you can answer something differently. But what is your favorite Gojira album? And you can say Fortitude. I'll throw it to Ava this time.
That is very impossible to answer because they all have their own charm. I've been recently listening to Terra Incognita a lot, actually. Terra Incognita, never know the emphasis on that word, but
that's cool.
That I've been kind of stuck on like the most recent 4 albums for a while because those are the ones that I've known best, and then I rediscovered Satan is a Lawyer a while ago, and I just had to go back to that whole album. And it just the primal rawness in that one is beautiful. So that one is at the moment kind of my favorite because I'm discovering it again.
That's really cool.
But yeah, Magma is actually my favorite album to do yoga to.
Yes, I am a fellow yoga person as well. Glauber, do you do yoga?
No.
Okay, cool. He's a weightlifter. I can you can hear it in his voice, of course. He's a
You can do both.
he can do both, exactly.
I run so much.
That's great. That's great. And Eva, now let's take a health check. What do you do to so you do the yoga? Do you do any running, Eva?
Not at the moment. I do weights as well, strength.
I do
Bit.
yeah, the yoga, the body weight stuff, but then with Gojira, you can't not move when you're listening to some. I'll sprint to the art of dying and hurt my legs. Like I'll try. I I fucking love the art of dying. I really do. And I love Minotaur. I hope they release that maybe as like a vinyl or something. Just his drum solo. Like, fuck yeah, that'd be really cool. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right. I guess I mean, if you want to go favorite song and music video, I guess. It's a bit tropey, but I figured why not? We're vibing it out anyway. So Ava, actually, Glauber, what is your favorite album of Gojira?
My favorite album at the moment is Fortitude. I'm
Fortitude.
really experienced this album. It's having a huge impact in my life right now.
That's right. That's so cool, man. I'm really glad. Nice. Okay, and we'll ask. So, what's your favorite song on Fortitude?
For me, it's The Trails, New Found, Hold On, and The Change.
You just said half the album.
The Change. The Change, because it's such a song you can only come out of a very already heart sensitized by really souls,
Okay.
that are truly important and meaningful to the artist.
Yeah.
It is not something done with commercial intent. It is created with purpose, with meaning, with love. The result could not be less than such touching and impactful. You can feel the emotions that I transmitted. In the music video, when Joe sings the words "Get Strong," when he sings that part, he's really screaming for his lungs,
Yeah.
unloading out that feeling in what he's talking about through the message. There is no way not to get emotional.
Thank you. And I think, yeah, Ava, go ahead.
Oh, that I completely agree. That just the chant is just, especially in the combination with Fortitude, it just, yeah, you cannot not get emotional. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I try to not look at like track listings or anything too much so that I don't know what's coming. And when the transition into Otherworld, that was insane. Like it's also extremely well sequenced as an album, and there's that. As I do, just like as you do, Ava, I listen to the singles in the lead up so that certain tracks that they're sort of established in your ear, like they've already made their home there, and so. But yeah, and I shared that picture on Instagram. I just I was on the way home from work, and I was like, it's time, and I pulled over my car, and I just picked a tree, and I looked at that tree for the whole duration of the album, and so now, every time I listen to Fortitude, I'll just remember, that one spot now. And now that tree is officially the Fortitude tree. So whenever I'm walking around, I'll say hi to the Fortitude tree every day. So, or whenever I do. Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't know, Eva, unless, I named Art of Dying from the past, but it's either Sphinx or Grind. I think Sphinx, but Grind is also very powerful. Into the Storm is fucking okay. I want to talk to you, Ava, as a bass player, as a musician. So the way that Into the Storm has that build up, that literally as soon as he says Into the Storm, you enter the storm with the fucking,
Yeah.
Just as a musician, please describe, how do you feel?
It's hard to do so, but
I know.
The way that song was made, and definitely also with the way the vocals are on it, it's so powerful. And the first time I heard it, I was just blown away because of just that power that resonates from every single part, the drums, the sounds, everything. And yet, like you said, that build up was just kind of insane.
Yeah, it's trippy. I think Mario, he continues to outdo himself. I think there was a conscious sense with the spirit again of this record of going more into lightness, into clarity. There's a lot of clarity, and I think to achieve clarity, you do naturally have to reel it a little bit back on complexity. Like I would say, Art of Dying is literally the soundtrack to someone dying. It's just like it's just this circling the mortal coil. Like it just feels, yeah, you can feel that. And also, I don't think Gojira can really be topped in terms of matching lyrics to music. Like each one, like Toxic Garbage Island, just it feels that you can feel the urgency, the alarm in his voice for sure, with all of these warnings. Each of these, I also had a flash earlier when I was listening to Amazonia. I was like, when Glauber goes to the gig next year or whenever they tour, like that's going to be a rallying cry for Project Amazonia. And you know, some of the stuff we talked about in the pre-show about, I don't know, potential upcoming guests. I'll leave it at that. But I learned a lot about the Tibet situation, like Free Tibet, through Gojira. And I guess we'll open that up. It might be question number 9, Glauber. I'll just add one. What causes and aspects of what the planet desperately needs and what we desperately should be doing did you first become aware of through Gojira? So I guess I'll throw it to Glauber. Like issues, obviously you have the Amazon right there on your doorstep, but any other issues, or you can focus on the Amazon if you like. So I guess the question would just be, what did you learn through Gojira in terms of like the needs of the planet?
I think we are abandoning what is vital and connecting with lies to our spirits. We need to wake up, remember, see that we have all this splendor to reconnect and take care of. We are part of the biosphere. We feel like orphans, but Mother Nature still loves us and wants us to be good son, you know?
Yeah. Eva, how about how Glauber speaks with such clarity? Like he is, yeah,
Inspiring.
he's the shaman of the group. I really dig that, man. And that's important. And I always enter that sort of Zen space with Gojira, that I make sure to not just talk. I within a few hours of the Amazonia video, I was doing the promo post and I jumped on and whatever, there's that minimum donation, I just did that straight away and signal boosted as much as we can. We're still growing. I've cross posted Gojira podcast to a few other of the shows that I do, and we had a couple of people from like Mars Volta podcast come over, and also Eva, as a musician, you are absolutely welcome to any of these others. Like we do Tool podcasts, we might be speaking with Chet Zar on that one. A couple of different artists. We spoke with Richie Beckett for Mastodon. And ready, Glauber, do you know Mastodon?
Yeah, my second favorite thing.
Oh, it's my favorite band too, man. But I love Gojira. It's all equal. See, that's the thing, Eva. They're all just our favorite bands. It's as simple as that. The album cover. Oh no, go ahead, Glauber.
Fortitude have songs that, for me, that inspired so much, and Mastodon songs.
Yes. And all I was gonna, because I'm an artist and like I just do the visuals, and I've done some album art, and I can't help but notice there's a beautiful kind of like sibling feeling between Emperor of Sand and yeah. What did you notice that, Eva? How quickly did you notice the similar, just with the warrior holding?
I'm not too familiar with Mastodon.
Okay, that's cool. No, but I'll tell you this is Gojira. Actually, Joe has been very vocal about Mastodon helping him a lot with loosening up from maybe a sense of this predetermined path towards only sounding a certain way. I think Mastodon he says I've been inspired by Mastodon to make songs like The Chant and to really,
that is interesting.
Yeah, so I think
really.
Yeah, I recommend Blood Mountain to start with. If you haven't done, you'll really dig it. Absolutely.
Probably will. Yeah.
Some songs of Fortitude coming from conversations, ideas from conversations of Joe with Brent Hines of Mastodon.
That's right. Yeah, they're friends. They're good friends, those guys. Yeah. You wouldn't think it. Have you seen Brent Hines, by the way, Eva? Do you know what he looks like? So he's got tattoos on his face. He's kind of almost like a trucker guy. I remember first coming across Mastodon and thinking they look like truckers. They don't look like metal people. And it's the first time I learned the word iconoclastic. It was used to describe, and I was like, what does that mean? They go against the grain. They do their own thing, and yeah, and they're very much like sister bands. So I think Mastodon toured with Gojira and Baroness. So
yeah, I did know that.
that's right. Do you listen to Baroness ever?
No, not
Okay.
either. I might have seen him live on a festival, but I'm not entirely sure at the moment.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I've got favorite band member. That's like, I don't really, all of them are amazing. I have a personal kinship with Mario because he does the multidisciplinary with, like, he does the galleries and that resonates with me. I vibe with them all though. It's impossible. Do you guys have a particular favorite band member?
Not necessarily. I do really like Mario as well because of his art, but also the tiny vocal things he sometimes does in live shows.
Yeah.
Those are very, very cool. But just, I guess the whole is greater than the sum of its parts in this case.
Absolutely. And I'm serious, like I'll be watching a Gojira gig and I'll throughout the performance be like, okay, Mitch is my favorite. Hold on a second. Fucking Christian. Because Christian is the Glauber of the group. And he's not on social media. Like he's very
Doesn't he have
chill.
like a vegetable store in
Yeah.
something?
Well, we're gonna interview him one day in his vegetable store. That'll be good. We'll talk to him. No music. We'll just talk about vegetables the whole day. Excellent. How about you, Globar? Favorite band member?
No, I can't.
Exactly.
But I love the way Joe thinks about songs.
Yeah.
So many things, you know, the question of civil disobedience. I never heard him talk to this thing, but I always think about this concept. You know, I'm consider myself a libertarian, anarchist, and they come with the theme, and you know,
Yeah, totally, man. Absolutely. I get it. And thank you. And one thing that I see between you and Joe, we always kind of reveal ourselves when we're given a question like that with like because it's a Rorschach, it's like an ink blot test. And I think I mean they each again, as you said, Ava, create this whole together. The sum of the parts is way more powerful than the individual components. And what I see Glover resonating with Joe is that I mean Joe he's the lead vocalist, and words are the main trade of the exchange of ideas, at least among humans. Like actions speak obviously louder than words, and that's what he always galvanizes. And I think the best use of words is to instigate action, instead of more words, which is politics, which is just words and more words and more words, no action. So I'm really hoping that the signal boost that they give with Free Tibet and now I'm talking about it, like I learned about this invasion. I don't know, Eva, did you know about the invasion of Tibet before the call? Oh, sorry, the chant.
Not really, no.
Yeah.
I have to say that I also try to not be as aware of everything that's going on in the world.
That's I respect that.
Just,
Yeah, it can weigh on
there's
the
a lot of
spirit.
stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I did not know a lot about that. So it is really, really important of them to actually bring that to the attention because it's something that can easily go unnoticed.
I
I
agree.
suppose.
I agree, and one thing I say, I'm very unfettered about this. Is I'm just a white dude. I'm Caucasian. I think the best thing that us white schmucks can do is just do our fucking best to signal boost voices that haven't either been repressed, suppressed, dogmatically propaganded into silence. One thing with the chant, and it's definitely not going to be anywhere in China because of their strict propaganda machine there. And that's why, Glauber, I want to speak to what you said about System of a Down. We also do System of a Down podcast.
Awesome.
See, yeah. Down the line, we'll speak with some of those artists and some of these unsung crew members and stuff. Will be great. But we had recently 24th of April. It's we call it here Anzac Day in Australia, but it's Armenian Genocide Day. Like it's to recognize that happened. And I did some reading, and through my connections and this what I'm doing with the signal boosting. Yeah, I learned that our soldiers in Australia, like we witnessed it. We saw it happen in 1915. And I have had nothing even close to, the experiences of folks from Tibet, folks from the Amazon, folks from Armenia. Like the two songs that they released, Genocidal Humanoids, and the other one, like it's entirely devoted to helping fix and resolve. Like, so I always make sure to just jump in head first, and make sure that I don't take my privilege for granted, and that's so important. When we visited, actually, because you said Dutch, right? So Amsterdam was so cool. I mean, I love that place. There's so many bicycles everywhere. We got my fiance and I got.
I love that culture here.
It's very nice.
It's the most. Yeah, I missed that most when I went to Australia.
Yeah.
Just my bike.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we definitely enjoyed that. Everyone was so fit as well. But when I was there, they have a couple of studios, like game studios, because I do video game stuff as well, and yeah, there is a sense like and I was wearing my Gojira shirt everywhere, and I did have some thoughts. I was listening to the music while traveling, and even when I was there, I was just looking at everyone, like these, like riding on their bikes, and like just like the disparity. Sometimes when I was on holiday, I just have these moments of, even listening to Gojira on the plane. I'll just have those moments of accountability. It's like I can't take this for granted, and so I'll listen to some Gojira. I'll donate. There's a beautiful the Yemen famine. Unfortunately, like there's like child dying every like 75 seconds ever. It's terrible. It's real deal stuff. And so I have this app. It's called Share Your Meal, and they've kind of gamified it. It's I just have it there in the corner. It's this little bowl there. Mm-hmm. And you just click in and it kind of brings up the kid or whatever. And I just do it without even thinking. It brings it up. And then you just has the little button there, give. And I'll just do one right now. It's just like give monthly. And what it does, it actually lets you do a slider, which I find really, really, really cool. So if you go give now, like to help the children in Yemen. This is also people watching, like this is why I'm showing you, like this is how easy. So it's like a smile or whatever. And you just you can just add a whole bunch of food there, and you just decide what you want to give, and you go give, and so I'll give that right now, like $12. Ready? Doing the face scan thing, and there, done.
That's beautiful.
It needs to just be muscle memory for the privileged. We have to, like, you can't.
That is definitely true.
Totally. So turn it into muscle memory, people, and I think we're all in agreement on that. So, time for another Glauber question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Let's do it, man. Also, I'm having a good time. Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Hell yes, man. This is cool. I like that we're in 3 completely different countries. And is that cool ever? Like, that's so...
It is. We're in the most unpractical of time zones.
I know. And also, I recognize that it's so early. And you're an artist. And this is what I do, Glauber. For all my artist friends, I demand their PayPal details. Because I like to, just like I did with that, I'll literally just send. You need to have do you have a Patreon or something ever as a musician? Like,
oh no, absolutely not.
See, this is the problem. I'm gonna be your agent, Eva. Like you,
no, but I'm not. I'm just a student.
Stop it! I just don't care. I just think people should have, and I have it. You can claim it. You should get it too, Glauber. You go paypal.me/ put your name. And then it'll say, oh, it's taken, sorry, and change the name or whatever. And then I've done that. And it just lets you literally like, hey, and if I'm like going through Instagram doing admin and I see Ava killing it on her bass, I'll fucking throw like $5. It's like, hey, it's the same thing as, you toss something. Why is it different, when people are busking, or they're going to a gig. So Ava, as your manager, you have to set that up. Okay?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. Okay. All right. Time for a Glauber question. All right. So please speak about your connections, lifelong message about regarding environmentalism. I was going to throw it here to Glauber. You mentioned, I can't even imagine. I mean, we sometimes, Ava, with the nations that literally aren't the lungs of the world, which is the Amazon. We are usually dealing with another kind of Amazon. I'll put it that way. It's not in our headspace as much, and that's why the Gojira kind of bands of the world, they bring it to the forefront of your mind, and they make you think about it. But as someone, Glauber, who lives there, and I know you spoke about it earlier, but please, if you could speak about just that element of you being so close to such, you hear Joe screaming on, like, it's fucking burning to the ground, like, so, like, yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, man, I feel really happy to live in here. The people was the maybe the best part. So humble people, so simple,
Mm,
simple way to live, simple way to life. Just the nature is conserved,
mm,
but the expansion of uh, agriculture, of factory farms, they destructed the lands and get out the people,
yeah.
you know, and this is so dangerous to these
Mm,
people. People that really love the nature, respect, live in balance,
mm,
homeostasis with
yeah,
the environment.
that's true, man.
So when heard Joe screams, the greatest miracle is burning to the ground, is totally true. The greatest miracle is that the nature that have so fucking many years to create this equilibrium, balance, and in question of minutes and days, years, we destroy everything. And these people that living here, they, I think
totally,
you
totally.
Mhm.
I
understand
get
me.
it, man. Yeah, and yeah, no, go ahead, Eva.
Yeah, it is so incredibly painful, and that is exactly why I tend to not focus on it too much, because if I think about these things too much, I just get completely immobilized
Mm,
and I have no idea what to do anymore, because it just feels like there's so much going on and there's so little I can do um,
mm.
to help at this moment. So I'm just doing my studies, hoping I can make a difference in a few years.
What are you studying, Eva?
I'm doing electrical engineering.
Nice.
Uh,
Well, the future is electric, so you've got a job guaranteed forever.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, so I can also go into just clean energy, things like that. I might do. Um,
That's it. That's really worthwhile. So actually, because I gave Glauber, right? Very good. It's a very worthwhile. And you just made, if we have any of the Gojira people listening, because they might, on their way to whatever, some gig or studio or whatever, they might be like, okay, cool, let's hear what the second episode turns out to be. I think it'll be good to speak after what the third one. So I know, listeners, we're doing some teasing. This teasing is intentional, and don't try and comment and ask me what it is, but let's just say something really cool is lined up for episode 3. So there you go. All right. Hey, Ava, because I did get confirmation, should we, what we should do, Ava and Glauber? We should reward the people who have been listening this long. We've been speaking for almost an hour, guys. All right.
mhm.
Yep. And I know it's very early, so I appreciate your time, guys. So let's reveal that on the next episode of the Gojira podcast, I will have the great pleasure to speak with Russell Brownlee, who directed the video for the chant shot in Tibet with local actors. He's going to speak about his involvement, his process, his intent, and I think that will be very elucidating. We spoke recently with CD Clark for the Mars Volta podcast, who is the art director for the latest box set. And so it's always enlightening and additive to hear the voices behind these beautiful creative works. And down the line, maybe to speak with Born for One Thing, you know, the director of that, and get some stories about the shoot. Absolutely. And then to have the band folk, if they, you know, on a particularly slow day, if they felt like talking to the community, you know, that'd be rad, I think, for sure. So there you go. For the people who tuned in and listened, you get a little teaser, because guess what, Eva, right now I am going to do the post that actually announces it. So there you go. But guess what? There's a very good chance that by the time I've edited this, they will already have seen the post that I'm talking about. So
fair enough, but that's
but
right.
but it meant something to me to give the teaser. Exactly. So okay, cool. We talked about Fortitude. We talked about favorite songs from Ava, did you give us your favorite song from Fortitude?
I'm not sure if I did, though I might have hinted at it, because I talked about just the combination of Fortitude and the chant. So just the combination of those two songs, I really, really love. And Into the Storm as well.
Into the Storm. Come on. Yeah. Jesus. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, if I had run into you guys at a gig, we would definitely have like swapped numbers and stuff and done all that cool stuff.
Absolutely.
There's a good chance that if, you know, who knows? There may be some gig that we all eventually meet up at. We'll see. Who knows? This might be ships passing, you know, but who knows?
You've been able to go to some sort of gigs lately, right? Or is Australia, part of Australia not?
We're doing pretty good. I'm going to go see Tame Impala in December, and going to see Jethro Tull over in Berlin. That's right. Do you know Jethro Tull, that band?
I do a little bit, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm really glad. Yeah, because generationally, it's like, it's nice to see, because you're clearly like younger than me, so it's like, yep, the old bands, like they do well. So, and same thing with you, Glauber. If you go, I think it's Albert Kess, it's my site.com/media, you can see all the band podcasts I do. And genuinely, like I've done 200, this is the 272nd episode of the show I've done since 2015, and then I divide them up into the other shows. I just didn't see anyone doing a Gojira podcast. I was like, it stop. Like, we need to fucking give a voice to this. It has to be. Thank you, Ava. It has to be done. So, and I'll be cutting clips of this episode, and I'll send them to you, just like the CD Clark version, so you guys can share them with friends or whatever. So let's wrap things up, because Ava has to sleep. Right?
I mean, I have to.
You're awake now.
I'll start doing uni work soon.
Okay. But did you, first of all, did you guys want to give any shout outs to anyone, friends, family, whatever, who may be listening? Glauber, do you want to say hi to anyone?
My child.
Oh my God, my heart. This is such a good dad. Of course, this excellent human being would say hi to their, 15 days ago they were born?
Yeah.
Glauber, can you be my dad? Is that okay? You're a good one. Okay, cool.
I'm really happy.
I already have. Thank you. Ava, any shout outs to people, band members? Tell them where you've made it, and tell them they suck.
I haven't talked to them in a while, actually, but which is sad. But no, not at the moment. Actually, my my metal friends are scattered.
Oh, well, guess what, Ava's friends? None of you made it to her shout out list, so you need to feel bad. Yeah, so you need to step it up. You need to get her more gifts. You need to be kinder to her. So sorry. No worries. Well, okay, and another thing I want to say, I'll put all of your social media stuff in the description so people can follow and stuff. Did you want to name any other outlets? Ava, do you have like I'm going to say it, like by the end of today, I better be able to go to the Ava Patreon. So I'm serious.
I wouldn't necessarily count on it.
Damn it.
I try to not be as present on social media these days.
That's good. That's healthy. That's very healthy. Yeah. Okay, cool. No worries. Well, I'll just put you guys' handles and stuff. and then go from there. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in to the second
I had
episode
an absolute blast
of the Gojira podcast. It's been wonderful. I couldn't have hoped for two better hosts. I think really good to get the contrasting experiences, languages. I think it was really worthwhile. And obviously, I can't end the Gojira podcast without mentioning Free Tibet and Project Amazonia. So please avail yourselves of those links, which will be in the description. Donation links in the description for every single Gojira podcast from here on, for sure. And I'm actually going to add them to episode 1 as well. Do you see episode 1 was just me with my fucking phone? I was like, let's fucking go, you know? So, but we'll get everything together. And hey, Glauber, for next episode, maybe see, because we have 4 days or so, do you have any webcam or anything so that our special guests can see you? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I trust that you'll set it up, and no pressure. If you can't put it together, in time, that's fine. It'll be fine. Your voice is enough. You've got a great voice.
I try to improve my English.
No, my God, you're fine. Hey, Eva, how did Glauber do? Like, it was fine, right?
actually, really good.
Yeah.
Very understandable. You did great.
Perfetto, as they'd say in Italian. How do you say perfect in Dutch?
It's very boring. Perfect.
Perfect. Glauber, you're perfect. Now, how do you say have a great day in Dutch?
Heb een geweldige dag.
Have een geweldige dag. There you go.
Close.
I must have said, I probably said something very rude. How do you say?
Okay, yeah.
It was okay? Thank you. Glauber, how do you say have a good day in Portuguese?
Tenha bom dia. Tenha bom dia.
Tenha bom dia. And then because they're connected to Italian, tieni in Italian, it means to hold on to un buongiorno. Tieni un buongiorno. So there you go.
Yeah,
Big hugs to you guys. I'm still being attacked by the sun. Ugh. Giant hugs across the world.
It's midnight here.
Midnight sun. Awesome. Well, folks, it was so great speaking with you. Let's stay in touch, okay? On Instagram, okay?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, until next time, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, don't go yet. We are now in the post-show. So the show's over. Hey, you did really well. Eva, and you as well. Have you done a podcast before, Eva?
I have not. No,
really? Okay, well, you both did really fucking well. That's the thing with podcasts, guys, and I'm sure you'll do many more because I think the very fact, also, especially Glauber, I want to give you another one because, again, you really stepped up, man. Like, man, English was my second language for a while, and, you valued more coming onto the show and speaking your piece, and now you'll be able to show this show to your kid like later on and be like, hey, I was on the Gojira podcast, son, that's really cool. So I think both of you did so well. So yeah, it was such a privilege speaking with you both.
I really enjoyed it as well.
No worries. Well, I will edit this up and I will put it out and I will send you guys the link. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, you lovely friends, have a big hug.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs. Okay, take it easy. Great to meet you.
Definitely.
Bye.